So for my project, I made a science lesson. In Montgomery County, we use Canvas. So this is my sandbox course, which is where I can play around and practice making lessons. So I put my Canvas course in student view. So students would first click on lessons, and it would bring them to this module, our current module. And the lesson we're working on would be lesson 4, climate. So it starts with the objectives for this lesson. Students will be able to differentiate between weather and climate and be able to define both. So this is a 5E lesson. So they start with engage, and it takes them to a discussion question with what they already know about weather and climate and how are they related. So this is a discussion question directly through Canvas, so they would be able to respond to the question and respond to each other. Then they could return to the lesson by clicking this button. Then for the explore section, they go to a Nearpod. So because this Nearpod was embedded in Canvas, it already populates their name. So they just have to click join lesson. It has Microsoft Immersive Reader built in. The directions are view the resources on the following slides, then write your notices and wonders on the collaborate board. So the first resource is a website with a climate map. So students can hover over these red dots and see where the different climate zones are. And if they were to click on one of the dots, they would see an example picture of what the climate zone looks like, as well as an example place. And it didn't take them out of the Nearpod, so they would just click next. And this is a map from National Geographic. So again, they can manipulate this map. They can increase or decrease the transparency. So for this part of the lesson, they're just exploring. And then on the next slide, they would write their notices and wonders, and they would be able to see their peers' responses. Then for the explain is where they really start to dive deeper. So they would watch different types of climates video. This is a discovery education video that's embedded directly into Canvas. Because this is a sandbox course and I'm not technically a student, it doesn't show for this course, but students would be taken right to Canvas for the discovery education video. Then they would click here for a ReadWorks article about climate zones through Cami. And with Cami, they have text-to-speech capabilities, so they could also change the voice. I have a lot of English language learners, so this would be beneficial for them. They can mark up the text, underlining, highlighting. They can leave comments. They can take notes. And for this, I would put them into Zoom breakout rooms so that they could work in heterogeneous groupings. After that, they would go to this NASA Climate Kids website with a brief video, a video transcript, and a poster of the transcript with images. After students have gone through all those resources, they would go to evaluate and click on this assessment, which is a Canvas assessment. And they would answer the following questions directly in Canvas. So they would define climate, they would state the climate where they live, and they would explain the difference between climate and weather. And finally, for those students who need some enrichment or who finish early, they can dive deeper with these resources. So this is Climate Types for Kids. It's a higher level text. And there's also a Duxter's article, which is also a higher level text with graphics and pictures, and they could also read about related topics. Thank you so much for viewing my lesson.